Hello, gearheads, not only from Czech Republic, but from all over the world. This is the first time Gears United podcast is done in English because I have a very special guest indeed with me here. And this is Alex Hardt. Hello, Alex.
Hello.
Great to meet you again.
Nice to see you.
We actually met several months ago on the Nordschleife. It was a big coincidence. I caught you with your snack in hand.
Yes.
I remember. Yeah. And you were hiding it because I wanted to take a picture with you, and you were hiding it behind
I
your
can
back.
remember.
It was very funny. And we meet at the racing circuit Most because Corners.cz have a track day here, which is specialized or focused on Toyota and Subarus, mostly on the GR models and the GR86 and Yaris GR. And you, Alex, came here representing the Red Motorsport. Yeah, exactly. And I think most of the guys that will listen or see this podcast will definitely know who you are, because I don't think you have to be shy, because you are a legend around Nordschleife. Yeah. I've been following you myself. I've been following you for several years, maybe more like 10 years.
Okay.
And your story is very interesting, and I want to hear about it. So if you just can say a few words about you, who are you? Where do you work now? What's your basically job?
Yeah. So I'm Alex Hardt. I'm 31 years old already, unfortunately, and I'm
5 years older, man. Okay.
I'm working at Mantai/Radar Motorsport as a salesman. And yeah, I was grown up next to the Nordschleife, like 30 minutes away, and it's quite calm area where we actually don't have anything else but the Nordschleife, so we were like kind of forced to like cars and to drive on the Nordschleife. And yeah, when I was 18 years old, I got my driver's license. I drove with my first car, with a BMW 1 Series.
Okay.
And I just did some TF laps like a lot of other guys do as well.
Okay.
Yeah. And
but then you moved to some E36, very lightweight. I remember, because that's the time I maybe started following you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had an E46 after the 1 Series, and after the E46 that was the very light E36. Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
What's up with the Dow register plate? You always have your own cars on the Dow something.
Yeah.
And it's like it comes in sequence or something like that.
Yeah, I have. So I was always into short license plates.
Yeah.
I just like it.
Yeah.
It was kind of a thing also from my friends earlier days. And I had a contact at the registration office.
I thought so.
And that's why I got several Dow H numbers.
I see.
And yeah, I still have them.
Okay. So basically, what was the year that you started driving? It was 18, so like it's 13 years ago.
Yes, exactly.
Basically, okay. Yeah. Since that, a lot of time has passed.
Mm-hmm.
You moved from standard BMWs. I saw you also in a V8 M3, right?
Sherman one, yeah.
Okay. Then you moved to Porsche, and somehow you ended up with the biggest name in the business. Let's say Mantai Racing, right? How is it? I mean, like, let's please give us an insight of how this works, because for most of guys here in Czech Republic, it's a wow, holy grail of Porsche tuning, and even for the Nordschleife, basically guys to go to when you want to set up the car, etc.
Yeah. So it was actually a quite long path, like you already said. So I was studying after my school. That was, I can't remember the year. Yeah. But during these days, I was driving BMWs, and Radar Motorsport is also part from Mantai.
Okay.
And at these days, when I started driving on the Nordschleife, Radar Motorsport already prepared my cars. So I was a customer there.
Okay.
And after my study, I also went for TF driving in the evening, and I met one of the Mantai employees.
Okay.
And I just said, hey, what about the job? Do you have a job? Anything I could do at Mantai?
Yeah.
And he said, well, we could use a salesman. And I said, well, okay, I will come by and then we will have a chat. And we did that. And a few days later, I started at Mantai as a salesman. And
so you just went for it, basically.
Yeah, so that was quite, I don't know, 2 weeks after my study, so it was quite also good for my vita, I don't know. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and then shortly after that, so I developed my private cars from BMW M models, always a little bit step higher, faster. And yeah, at some point I gathered enough money to buy my first Porsche.
Okay.
And that was also the time when I started at Manthey, maybe 1 year after or so.
Okay.
And that was a good fit, to be honest. Yeah.
we can all see that, because I think a lot of guys here from Czech Republic has seen at least one or several of your videos of Turisté and some of the best laps there. Best lap times, obviously. Anyway, we were just talking about the stuff that, like, you moved from BMWs to Porsches, basically, and somehow you get the money for to move it up a level, basically, right? We all want to know how hard it is, but it's extremely hard, right? To actually take it from a leisure or a hobby to a pro level. How was it?
Yeah, well, I'm still not a pro driver, to be honest, but I started giving coachings, I don't know, when 2016-ish.
Okay.
Or maybe 2018, about that. So that was when a few friends of mine just said, hey, I think you're quicker than me. Could you maybe join me for a passenger seat that I can give you some tips?
Okay.
And that's how it started. And from that point on, quite a lot of people came to me and also wanted my tips. And that's when I started coaching.
All right.
And yeah, I think the more you are in the car, the better you get as a driver. And then it's just developing yourself, I guess.
Yeah, I totally agree. How do you find this job? Because that's what we have in mutual, basically. You're a driving coach, I am as well. I started this, I don't know, like 7 years ago, because I used to have a car shop, actually.
Okay.
But I burned out like crazy.
Okay.
Because it was just too much. And basically I lost my faith in, like, people driving. I need to find myself. But I was like, my God, I love driving, what I want to do. And to pass it on is actually where I found myself, and I love it, and I actually can see on myself that I develop myself even on the passenger seat with the people I teach. How do you see this job?
Yeah, it's absolutely the same. So if you do, well, of course, when you drive yourself, you have more feeling for the car than you have on the passenger seat, but still you just learn something from the mistakes the customers do, and also from the developments they do. So I also really like to see the developments from the customers. It's just a nice thing that you can bring something positive to them. Yeah. And yeah, I think it's a great job.
Yeah, I agree, man. Anyway, I saw you at least this year in some racing cars. For some regular teams, basically. Yeah. How was the experience?
It was absolutely amazing. So that was of course my biggest dream. So for, I don't know, since I was a kid, but we never had the money, to be honest, to go into racing. And 2023, a coaching customer from myself, he said, hey, well, I think you have a lot of potential. You should go racing. And then he said, do your license, make your license, do the races you need to have to raise your licenses in the grades, and he paid for it, and and that's when I started.
It's a blessing, basically.
Yeah. Absolutely. And then last year I did a Porsche Sports Cup.
Okay.
In the Cup car, and this year I did the NLS, so the Nürburgring Endurance Series, also in a Porsche GT3 Cup car, and that was quite a nice.
It's still another level, like a big major step. Even though you now own a GT3 RS, right, the 991.2,
exactly,
right, and it's definitely not stock. You can see from the heights and everything.
Yeah, it has a Manthey suspension.
Yeah. But then you jump into the Cup car, it's still totally different.
Yeah. So of course it's different, but it's not too far away, to be honest. So the speeds is maybe, I don't know, depending on the corners, but so in a Cup car you don't have so much aero.
Okay.
So if you compare it to the 992 GT3 RS, to the street car, then you go at several a lot of corners, you go faster into the corner with the GT3 RS than with the Cup car. So that's quite interesting. But of course, it's lighter, it's stiffer, it's more agile.
And it's, if I can say that, it's much bigger experience.
Yes,
right?
of course.
The 992 RS, if you agree, it's out of this world. I mean, it's a fucking spaceship, to be honest. But at the same time, I feel like, okay, it's unbelievably capable, but it's still, you know, a road car, like a little bit heavier. It's like soundproof. You know, like when you get in the racing car, it's the experience is like you get a goosebumps.
Yeah, you're
like, what the hell is going on? Yeah. Okay.
Exactly.
So I have a question, a follow-up question to this from one of our viewers and followers. He asked, what's the best sports car, and why is it the 911 GT3 RS?
Yeah, that's a very good question. It's quite simple, to be honest. Yeah, it's just, I think it's first of all the performance.
Yeah.
Second, the reliability.
Okay.
And also the maintenance costs. So you have Porsche approved. You can, if something happens to the car, Porsche will cover it. So you don't have to bear the costs for that. And also reliability is also, I think, one of the biggest points, because you can just go for laps, and the car is totally fine. Like, it's nothing to do for it. Yeah. And you can also take it for a road trip if you want to. So maybe not the 992 RS without a trunk and so on, but the predecessors was quite no problem.
Yeah, I can see. Anyway, I obviously wanted to ask you, because still we are here at the Racing Circuit Most with Radar Motorsport and your project car, the GR86. And it's hell of a fast car. Yeah. I mean, like the guys told me from your team, you ran 153.9 like in dry conditions. But what have you done to the car? And obviously, it's the driver, because you are behind the wheel.
No, but the car is also very nice.
All right,
it's really good.
What's the biggest upgrades you can tell us about?
I think the biggest upgrade is the suspension kit. So we have a KW V4 Club Sport in it. Yeah, and also we changed the rear toe and camber arms. So when the car bumps in, it's called like that, bumps in, the toe does not open, but it stays the same. So the rear is way more stable under different conditions, in the braking, acceleration and bumps and so on. That's a big difference. Then of course the wheels and tires. So we have Dunlop Direzza in dry conditions with our own wheel set. It's 9x17 inches. And then also the brakes. So we have a brakes upgrade for four piston calipers with a different disc, and also endless brake pads. Yeah. And that works quite good. And yeah, then we did some minor stuff like an interior, Recaro seats, harnesses.
Lot of weight saving, or is it around
not
like
really?
stock?
Yeah, it's not so much weight saving.
Okay.
So we only removed the back seats, and that's basically it.
So it just shows how a good start, or how a good base the car basically is from factory, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So, and then you just have to put a good suspension and those arms and good setup on. I see. And then it's a very capable car. And also very enjoyable to drive, because it's so light, it's so pure, and I really like that.
It also communicates with you,
yes,
right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Right. One more question for you is, how do you work? How do you make yourself better? Do you have some advice or suggestions for anybody who is out there and like wants to be a better driver, work on himself? What helps you the most? Like to have discipline, or to drive as much as possible? Do you have any tips?
So discipline is for sure the most important thing. Driving also helps a lot. What helped me a lot was getting a simulator. Okay. That was a big step, because there you can also do telemetry analysis. And if you have any reference laps, you can build on that for sure. So I would also always try to focus on your driving technique before going fast. So of course you want to go fast always, but to understand the basics of driving technique and also car technique. So what happens if you go on the throttle, what happens with the weight distribution when you go on the brakes, for less understeering and oversteering. And if you have understood that, then it's basically just trying to get a better what is it called? A better connection from your foot to your head and to your arms.
Basically, and to drive.
Exactly,
basically.
yeah, and also work on the telemetry to know, okay, that was now not a good thing. Try to avoid that behavior, what you do. So and I think that's a good way.
All right. One last question for you. I don't want to go too deep in the subject of Nordschleife lately. Like how are the conditions? How are the tourist parents? Not that, because we just have to be careful. But what would be your I don't want to say suggestions, but your tips and tricks if you want to experience Nordschleife these days and go to the tourist farm? What do you do basically? How do you take it? Because I saw some guys, some people that are, let's take a vacation and let's drive on that circuit. You know, they just don't realize the risks and the dangers, and they don't take it. They take it as a roller coaster, not a racetrack basically. Even though if it's open for normal people. Yeah. So what would be your tips?
So the biggest tip is, of course, as you already mentioned, to bear the risk in mind.
Yeah.
Because it is the most dangerous track in the world.
Yeah.
And once you lose the respect for it, then you will end up in a barrier, and mostly it will hurt you for sure. Because it's a very narrow track. You need to know exactly what to do. You do need to know the layout. So my tip is always to get an instructor or a driving coach with you, especially on your first laps, because it will give you so much confidence, because you can also have a look on the outside mirrors to check the cars coming up from behind.
Right.
And I will tell you, when you are the first time on the Nordschleife, you will be occupied with going for the track, and you will have to learn the track. You're focused on the track, and you don't have the time to watch your mirrors. And that will help for sure. And then just keep it slowly, do slow laps, and try to get the layout in your head.
Yeah. All right. If I might add something to that, I always say to guys around me that you don't have the time to worry about to care about how you drive, how to brake. Or I always suggest take some laps on normal track, right? Have some experience with a racetrack, with a basically sportive operating the car, basically, and then go to Nordschleife. Don't be like, Nordschleife is my first experience with a racetrack. That's basically bullshit.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. A lot of guys do that.
Yeah, of course, but you can't even test and implement your driving technique or improve your driving technique on the Nordschleife. No. You have to do that on a GP circuit, because we have the room there. It's completely different from the corners, from the approaching of the corners. You have so many bumps, so you can't even concentrate on how to trail brake or whatever. Okay. It's just, that's a good point to go first on the GP track, and after that,
all right, cool. Let's end up with what's your plans, or like where are we going to see you more in a racing car, or what's there for Alex Hardt in the future, in the bright future?
No, I hope so. Of course, it was my biggest dream to be in a race car, and I try and I hope to continue. I think my pace this year was quite okay, so that also the teams were happy. And now we'll see. But my plans are for sure to stay also in racing, maybe also with Porsche, maybe go one step above the Cup car once in the next years. Okay. But the main thing would be to stay in the race car. That would be my biggest dream.
All right, I see. Mate, I'm very honored that you took the time and
thanks for
give
the
us
invitation.
This interview. From not only me, but from my team and Gears United, we wish you all the best, not only in your personal life, but obviously in business, but mostly the thing you love the most, and that is racing. We will be watching you. Even though if you don't stay in contact that much, I will be there and watching you and wishing you all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Alex.
Thank you.
Pleasure. All the best.
Same.
And we'll see you guys in the next episode. So this was Donald's Car Talk, podcast done by Gears United. And stay safe and work on your driving, right?
Exactly.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Partnerem podcastu je klub bramboráků a Performance Rent, půjčovna prémiových vozidel.